be in their sights.
Heinrich Hausler in there in about 20th position as well in his Australian Champions jersey. 1.7 kilometres to go as Trek Factory Racing take it up at the front. Today, for them, it is all about Giacomo ɗ'i଼taːlja. How is he with those allergies? He's been struggling in the last few days. 1.5 Ks remain. Lampre Merida with a good train now. 3 men at the front for Sacha Modolo, who wants to take victory at the Giro d'Italia. Modolo there, in form, doing really well at the Tour of Turkey. As we approach the last kilometre, Greipel, though, still with 2 men in front of him, as Hofland is being brought up on the right-hand side.
Hofland comes up on the inside, and that's Lampre Merida on the front. It looks like Marchesi setting a really hard tempo on the front. In a moment, they'll be swinging right onto the finishing straight, but at the moment, it's Lampre and Lotto in the red.
Mezget's being brought up on the left-hand side in the black now. He's second wheel alongside Andre Greipel, who you can see in the white in the German Champions jersey. Last kilometre, ultimo chilometro for everybody here in Castiglione della Pescaia. Finally, it is going to be a sprint. We've been waiting for one since Genoa on the Giro d'Italia. All the big boys are there. Who is going to take it as we look at Viviani, who's way down, bunched out at the minute. Can he get on the right wheel to look at the front? Here is Heinrich Hausler on the left-hand side, making sure he hits it. Modolo well positioned as well on the wheel of Andre Greipel. Who's going to go first there as Greipel is being led out now by Greg Henderson in the red in the centre. It's Hausler who wheels off on the side. He won't contest it. It's going to be Greipel against Modolo, the first to fly. Lobato on the left-hand side in the navy blue is making his case as well as Matthews and Viviani also appear. All the big guns are here. Oh, and they're riders down. Riders down on the running, but in the meantime, it's Greipel on the right-hand side who's going to lead it out. Greipel in the white going towards the line. He has the power. Can he hold on? It is Greipel who's going to take it. A big win for the German champion in that tricolour jersey. Andre Greipel is there. All the pressure is there, and Contador has gone down in that crash. Greipel takes the stage win. Contador falls behind. Colli also involved, I think, as well. And that looked pretty horrible. So a big crash towards the end. No worries about time gaps on the overall general classification. There is Contador back on his bike. He's going to feel okay. A couple of riders, I'm afraid, though, it looks as though I think we're going to lose from this Giro d'Italia, because there was one particular break in that picture that didn't look nice. Delight for Andre Greipel after all of that chaos. Most of the main sprint men avoided it. Greipel went early and just had the strength to carry on straight through them. Yeah,
what a finish by Greipel. Perfectly placed by Greg Henderson, but it was carnage just behind. But in relation to there's a big hug from the German, affectionately known as the Gorilla, and he had the opportunity there to really lay down the power. He won it at least by a length. I think it was Bellucci of Yam Cycling who came home in second place. We'll get confirmation of that at the moment. But from very early on, Lotto Soudal laid out their stall. They put most riders at the front. They stamped their authority on the race. But what a very hectic finale. Hopefully, well, we know there's several riders that came down. Alberto Contador is back up and riding, but the crash happened on the right-hand side. Clearly a touch of wheels, but then there was a ripple effect. Many riders then came down, but this particular rider here from a Nippo, Vini Fantini, who looks to be in quite a bad way.
That was a horrible image. All the best wishes. We've seen a couple of really nasty crashes already this week. Andre Greipel taking his win. Of course, that's not something, again, we want to dwell on too much. In the meantime, CCC Sprandi riders caught up. Alberto Contador, from the outset, looks to be okay.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look at his jersey. I think he'd managed to slow down before he was brought off. There's hardly any scuffs on his jersey or shorts that we could see, and the fact he looked pretty sprightly when he got back on his bike would indicate to me, as you see confirmation of the win there, that he's okay.
Andre Greipel takes the stage win ahead of Matteo Pelucchi, Sacha Modolo, Manuel Belletti, Giacomo ɗ'i଼taːlja. Petacchi in 6th, Viviani down in 7th in the end, as Mezget takes 8th, with Ruffoni up there in 9th place as well. This is a sprint again, Matt. You saw Lobato perhaps coming a little too early, all on his own on the left-hand side. That's the crash on the right-hand side.
It was a foot. It looked like a foot of the barriers was digging out slightly, and the rider from Vini Fantini went straight into that. That looked very unfortunate, and the ripple effect brought down half of the peloton. But what a lead out by Greg Henderson to focus on the sprint at the moment. Tom Bonen was in the mix, and this is the point that the Gorilla hit the front. But look at the power, look at that style there, looking straight down. That big grimace as he tries to press on as hard as he can, but Pelucchi was finishing very fast. Didn't have enough. So it's the German national road champion. Quick glance over his shoulder, he realizes there's enough space. Big broad smile, punches the air. Andre Greipel, the winner of stage 6.
Polish champion about to finish, just getting over the line. Of course, same time for everybody. This looked a horrific injury. I think it's possibly Pierpaolo De Negri didn't really get a full look at the number. This is where it will have happened. Left-hand side, just keep an eye out. Coming into the final kilometre here, you can see Reza launching out towards the front. On the right-hand side, you've got the CCC Sprandi riders there as well. We mentioned that Viviani was probably down at about 20th position at this place too.
I think it's this rider in the centre of your picture, the Nippo Vinu Fantini. He's riding at about 20th at the moment. On the left-hand side, we see Modolo going, while Henderson is actually, Modolo has to go. Well, it's not, Modolo is actually being led out. So Modolo now sat next to the rider Mizgets. So Mizgets riding on the wheel of Tom Bonan, but what a lead out by Henderson there.
That's a stray arm or something. That is horrible, horrible.
Definitely an arm.
I can tell you it's Daniele Colli, their sprinter, who's gone down, the number 1, 2, 4. Very, very nasty. And again, spectators just perhaps getting a little too excited. I'm sure there was no harm meant, but not really aware of how close those riders were going to come to the barriers. Greipel won the sprint in the end. A great win for him. He's now won 3 Giro d'Italia stages in his career.
No, great win for Andre Greipel. That will mean a lot to him. And but you've got to think about the team. I can see it. And it's actually, it doesn't look like it's a spectator. It's actually a foot of the barrier. It looks like the barrier actually came outwards by about a half a metre or so. It went straight into that. But already Henderson has his arms in the air celebrating. You can see that the white jersey of Greipel is well clear. Good sprint by Palucchi and Modolo also. Nizzolo sprinting very, very well for Trek Factory Racing. Kevin Reza also in the mix. Tom Bonan there too. It's all about this man, wasn't it? What a great team display by Lotto Soudal.
Yeah, Modolo in the fuchsia pink and navy blue on the right-hand side. Man in the middle. We all know who won. Miz gets behind in the black jersey. There's Bonan just sitting up behind, as you mentioned, 62. Lobato was involved as well. 86 is Pelucchi on the right-hand side in the navy blue. Kevin Reza up towards it. Was all of the big names who we expected to be there.
And the first person that congratulated Greipel was Greg Henderson.
The man who led him out.
Yeah, that wasn't just that. I mean, that was a long lead out, but perfectly timed. But the lead out was that strong. I mean, I think if Greg Henderson had continued, he'd have probably rolled top 4 himself. Such was the ferocious power of that lead out. But yeah, very unfortunate that there was a crash behind.
I think it's actually a huge lens of the camera that's taken him down there as well.
Okay.
We saw it from the overhead. It looks as though it was a hand. I've been looking at that again. It looks as though that is the case. Alberto Contador still leads the Giro d'Italia, then no difference in time gaps in the top 10. Fabio Aru 2 seconds behind, Richie Porte there at 20. Kreuziger to Cataldo in the top 5. Contador remains in pink, he leads by 2 after stage 6 of the Giro d'Italia.
Grazie Paolo, intanto noi aspettiamo l'arrivo di altri atleti.
Looks as though we can go and speak to Andre Greipel.
Textbook lead out, I think you could say, from around about 3Ks to go.
Yeah, we said before we have to keep the position for 3Ks to go, and with these corners, it was actually really like we planned. Lars Bak made a really long pull and kept us in the front, and then with 1.1 kilometer to go, Adam Hansen just went for it, and then Greg Henderson. He was going really for a long way. When I looked up, it was just 600 meters to go. Normally it's a bit too early for him, but he kept it up, and this time I didn't go too early, and I'm really thankful for my teammates, really happy also with this victory.
How important is it to have guys with so much experience? Because we saw Adam Hansen using the other teams before you came towards the finish as well.
Yeah, we are working now so long to go, already so long together, and also we are friends, so I think this makes it also easier to fight for each other for the victory, and yeah, without the teams, I think victories like this are not happening, so yeah, Sander Amé was pulling all day in the front, and then with Luis Vervaeke, his first Grand Tour, and Stig Brooks also his first Grand Tour. Everybody went for it today, and I think it deserved victory.
Thank you very much. I think they're waiting for you on the podium.
Thank you.
Certainly are waiting for Andre Greipel after this. This is his winning sprint again. Greipel perfectly lit out there. Bonin on the wheel, just could not live with acceleration. And we're about ready to go and dissect everything that's happened with Juan Antonio Fletcher and Ashley House as well after this 183-kilometer stage from Montecatini Terme to Castiglione della Pescaia, won by the man on the left-hand side there, André Greipel, the German national champion.
In association with the Israel Ministry of Tourism.
An awful crash in the final 300 meters. Suspected arm problem for Daniele Colli after he hit the lens of a spectator. A couple of people brought down behind. Alberto Contador was one of those caught up in the crash. Same time differences, no problem with that. And of course he looked okay as he got back on his bike as well. André Greipel went on to win the stage. Modulo up there, as with the likes of Mesget, Petacchi and Pelucchi as well. Time to go and talk about exactly what happened in this stage. Juan Antonio Fletcher, but first here is Ashley House.
Well, welcome back to Giro Extra. We're here at the finish line in Castiglione della Pescaia, where we've just seen André Greipel claim a superb sprint victory. And in the end, Juan Antonio, it was a very convincing victory by a bike length.
Yeah, actually, I mean, it's been very exciting to watch. Super fast sprint. I mean, Greipel and Lotto, they rode amazing. They did a perfect lead-out trend. In my opinion, they went a little bit too early, but yeah, they were having big engines at Adam Hansen, last back, and last man was Henderson, who led Greipel out and easily won. Easily, like for him, of course.
Yeah, easily for him. It's his third stage win at the Giro. For somebody like André Greipel, who's achieved so much already, how much more can he achieve? What does it mean to him still to win these stages?
He's a great champion. Great champions always want to win. I mean, look at Mario Cipollini. He won over 40 stages in the Giro. So André Greipel still some seasons to keep winning big races. He'd be criticized a little bit in the classics because he was racing a little bit like going too early in the attack. But he's a great athlete. I mean, this guy is in a very good form all year long, and he's winning stages Giro, Tour, and Vuelta. So thumbs up for him.
Some people are saying this is the last stage as well for the pure sprinters, so important for him to have that confidence maybe as well.
Yeah, confidence, you need confidence. There are more stages, but now we're talking about not many other chances, which is actually, because tomorrow is again dragging up finish. We won't probably see Greipel much. I'm afraid that he will continue work on his condition for the Tour maybe and try to win one of those other stages. He won, his job is done. He's a rider who he's normally winning more stages, but yeah, if the chances are not in this Giro, he will try to get some more victories in other races.
André Greipel did his job. Another man who did his job for Team Lotto Soudal was Greg Henderson, who was Greipel's lead-out man.
We are at the finish line with Greg Henderson, the man who lead out the winner of today. Greg, it was the perfect sprint.
Yes, it was. They have told you we can do it, brother. That was good. We had a big meeting last night. We had Adam and myself and Andre sat down, had a chat, and then we found out it was a tailwind sprint. I said, we're normally missing Marcel Seberg. I said, we can do this because Adam can get me to 500 or 600 meters to go with the tailwind. You know, it's over and done with really quick, and it was so fast. And I knew once again, as soon as Andre stepped off my wheel, he came with, 3 or 4 k an hour faster than I was. It was like, no one can pass that.
And as we can see, Andre did not forget to congratulate his teammate because you did a great job in the last 5 kilometers.
I was just piloting the guys. I had Adam always asking me, where do we go? With left side, right side? I just stay here, stay on the right, we're comfortable. I keep calling for Andre, you know, Gringo, he's there, perfect. Just stay relaxed. And then we're actually lucky one giant guy came, a lamprey guy came, so extended our lead out. And yeah, we got it perfect.
Okay, congratulations. Bravo.
Win number 112 in the career of Andre Greipel, the 32-year-old gorilla from Rostock in the former East Germany. German national champion, Lotto Soudal superstar, and very happy with a third Giro win in 3 different editions. He won in front of his then teammate Mark Cavendish in 2008 in Locarno in Ticino in Switzerland. He won in 2010 in Brescia, and he's won here in Tuscany in 2015. Six stages at the Tour have fought the Vuelta, now 3 at the Giro. And as you heard, the metronomic planning last night of how everything was going to go went to perfection, and Lotto Soudal carried out the plan to take their man to the win.
So you've seen Andre Greipel, the stage winner, receiving the accolades for that. But let's talk, Juan Antonio, now about the crash which occurred in the finishing straight. What happened?
Well, it happened that, of course, obviously, first thing, the bunch was a very fast sprint, and second, the sprint committed to the left because it was a bit tail cross from the left wind, so the riders committed to the left, and the thing is, the barriers here at the Giro are really straight, so perpendicular to the ground, and that makes a little bit more dangerous what is used in the Tour de France, which are a little bent, so there's gaps around. So what happened is that the rider from Nippo, he was too close to that barrier, and actually he hit someone from the public, and he hit very hard with his shoulder, and he caused that crash. But not, I mean, he tried to fill a gap that probably there was no gap, but that's a sprint. I mean, that's the way it does. So the organizers, I'll suggest, for safety for the riders, they try to look after different barriers with some angle, which it makes safer for the bunch especially.
That would certainly make sense. Of course, the big story looked like it could be that Alberto Contador might be hurt because he was caught up in the crash. It looks like he's fine. He got back on his bike, he went over the line, and of course, because the crash was in the last 3K, there's no time penalty for him. However, when you're involved in a crash, how might it affect him mentally, physically? I don't know. Is it too soon to know?
Well, actually, I tell you, the last thing you want to have is crashing a bunch sprint, probably, especially if you're wearing the pink jersey and being so close to the finish line, as Alberto was. He did perfect. He was well positioned by his teammate. He was still in the front, trying to avoid any risks, trying to avoid any crash. But still, when you're there, it's still a risk. And it was this time and today to be involved in that crash. He won't lose time because he was still the last 3Ks, but that's basics. But the thing is, I think first thing, he's a little bit worried. Once he get back to the hotel, eat something, rest, massage, he will say, oh, turn the page tomorrow, another day. Hopefully it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, let's see Alberto Contador being given the pink jersey for the second day in a row.
And I'm afraid, gentlemen, it's not great news from the podium. Alberto Contador riding in okay, perhaps the adrenaline moving his arm still. He's had 15 minutes or so now. He's struggling to move the left arm. Not too keen on putting the Maglia Rosa on. And I think that he will be off for precautionary x-rays at least, trying to clench his fist there. This is a worrying sight for the race. This is a very worrying sight for Tinkoff Saxo, and 24 hours after he put the pink jersey on, he cannot do so in Castiglione della Pescaia. It's not a happy look. He's trying to be as professional as possible and do his best for the sponsors, but Alberto Contador will be very, very worried here. Can't get the Maglia Rosa on. He leads the Giro d'Italia over Fabio Aru by 2 seconds. Richie Port is third, 20. But I'm afraid for all lovers of this race, this is not good news. Fingers crossed for Alberto Contador. He's not a happy man as the race leader. No champagne, no celebration. His first worry will be to go out and get checked up and hoping that he can survive the next few days. Next mountain stage, if he does survive, is on Saturday. Alberto Contador with a Giro, perhaps even in the balance here. So Contador's professional as you like, knows what to do in these situations, but there will be worry in the mind of his, an extreme worry in the camp. The Giro not looking great at the minute. Disappointment for Contador, and of course we will see exactly what happens overnight. Contador still leads. For the moment, it's a worried lead.
So that's Alberto Contador, still wearing pink, of course. There's been no change in the GC classification after today's stage, but interestingly, after Contador was caught up in that crash, we can hear now from the sporting director of Tinkoff Saxo, Oleg Tinkoff.
We are with Oleg Tinkoff, the owner of the team Tinkoff Saxo. Oleg, Alberto Contador is pink. It's very soon in the race. Are you not maybe afraid?
No, it's okay. Alberto is strong and he feels to attack. He attacked. It's his decision, so he's in pink, perfect.
Every day we see, we watch your team in front. I think you seem to be happy with that, to see the yellow team in front.
Yeah, I'm proud of my team. Of course, it's a good work, and my guys are very strong, and it's very encouraging. I think Alberto is well covered. I know he just fell here. I don't know how it goes, but yeah, team does perfect job for him.
Do you know what's happened in the crash?
No, because we were in the car, so I don't know.
How we feel?
I haven't talked to him yet. Okay, thanks. Thank you.
Good to hear from sporting director, not sporting director,
owner,
owner, I beg your pardon. Oh dear, that's a mistake to make.
He wants to be, actually, he wants to be.
Yeah, we're aware of that.
We are not that grown.
Dear me, we don't want to add to that discussion, but people are worried about Contador. Around the team, it seems as though people are a little bit worried about what might have happened in that crash. How soon will we know whether or not Alberto is affected?
We will not really know, because it's up to what they really want to tell to the press and to everybody about the injuries. If Alberto is having some injuries, but I tell you, as I said before, I mean, last thing you want to have is crashing the bunch sprint, because that's the moment where the bunch is riding super fast. It's about around in between 65-70 km an hour, so that means the impact is, and he hit other guys. So hopefully he's fine, but we don't know. I think they are cautioned. They're waiting to see, to evaluate exactly if he's in pink jersey already. So they're gonna be passionate and telling what really is happening, if he's having any injuries or not. So hopefully not. I mean, we need to wait. We don't know yet.
Just another quick question about, obviously there's not a serious injury, but when you're a finely tuned athlete, even a superficial injury, does it affect you in a different way?
You're right, Ashley. You're actually right. I mean, your muscles, as you mentioned, you're a perfect athlete, and your muscles are almost engineering. So better than that, it's nature. So the thing is, if you crash, there's this reaction from your body, from your muscles that actually, I mean, it affects your muscles. And I think now, Ashley, we're having someone from Tinkoff.
Yes, absolutely. Let's have a word now with someone from the Tinkoff Saxo team, and Juan Antonio will have a word for you. See if we can find out the latest on this subject. Juan Antonio.
Ciao, vogliamo sapere un po' che situazione ha Alberto.
We'd like to know exactly what's happening to Alberto.
Se si è fatto male di vero, se è tutto a posto, se no
really
è troppo presto per capirlo.
Is it too soon to know?
Abbiamo il medico lo sta valutando, poi faremo tutte le analisi del caso. La botta è stata pesante.
Of course, we've got to have some X-rays and analysis to see exactly what the problem is.
La botta è stata pesante.
Per fortuna domani sembra di essere una tappa più o meno più tranquilla ancora, allora
nel caso che ci sia qualche problema
non sarebbe così male, no? Perché ancora avrebbe un giorno per recuperare. No, sì. No, speriamo che vada tutto bene, che Alberto sia a posto e soprattutto che stia per il prossimo weekend, per sabato, pronto, e speriamo che non succeda un'altra volta, no?
Quello che speriamo anche noi, però abbiamo visto un brutto film che avevamo già visto l'anno scorso.
Speriamo che vada tutto bene, grazie.
We want everything to go okay, but we already saw quite a nasty film last year.
Antonio, to hear from Tinkoff Saxo, of course. Right up until that moment, though, Contador had been protected absolutely perfectly by Tinkoff Saxo, and the same with Aru and Port from Astana and Team Sky. Did the teams do their jobs?
They did their job perfectly. I mean, we've seen as Team Sky riding, committing, doing a great job with Bernie Eisel, Salvatore Pucci in the front, protecting Richie Port. We've seen Astana with Fabio Aru, and also Tinkoff, especially Tinkoff. They were really committing to that. They were really committing to the gather and putting the bunch in trouble, and especially positioning Alberto Contador as best as possible. So job is done for them.
Okay, let's welcome today's stage winner to us now. Andre Greipel joins us here on Giro Extra. Andre, thank you very much for coming. Congratulations today. Your timing was absolutely perfect. How did you get it so right today? And Greg Henderson did a good job for you.
I think the whole team did a good job. Started already from kilometer 0, and Sander Ameer was pulling all day, and everybody who's included in the team made his part of the victory today. But the last 3 kilometers was like we planned it in the bus this morning, and even last buck, for him it's always not easy to stay in the front to keep the position, but he made it really good today. He was really strong and kept us in front. And with Adam Hansen, 1.1 kilometer to go, normally it's not his spot, but I was quite proud of him that he could make it today and make this lead out so perfect. And Greg Henderson made a really long lead out, really long pull. When I looked up when he went there, I thought, okay, this is gonna be a bit too early, but he kept it up. He has so much experience, and I'm trusting him and the whole team 100%. And yeah, today I didn't make the mistake to go a bit too early, so I was really happy that we finished it off today with a victory.
Great, Andre, thank you very much indeed. Congratulations and good luck tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Andre.
Great, of course, to have the winners, the riders, all the main contenders here on Giro Extra. We had to leave Andre Greipel there because we want to hear straight away now from the press officer from Tinkoff Saxo.
We are at the finish line with Jacinto Vidarte to have some news about Alberto Contador. Jacinto, how is comment va Alberto? On l'a vu sur le podium douloureux.
Alberto,
How is Alberto?
Il est presque bien. Il a chuté lourdement.
He's almost good.
Ici à l'arrivée.
He had a very heavy fall towards the end.
Au genou. Et aussi
l'épaule,
il a des problèmes ici, mais on va voir comment ça marche dans les prochaines heures. Ça a été lourd, mais on verra comment on continue.
C'est une image assez forte de voir le leader qui n'arrive pas à mettre son propre maillot. Évidemment, beaucoup de gens qui regardent en sport se demandent ce qui se passe.
Il vient de chuter maintenant, alors on ne peut pas savoir comment ça va dérouler.
Do all the medical exams
surtout demain.
in the next few hours.
On va voir. J'espère qu'il sera bien.
And we're going to see and hope that he's okay.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
The main concerns for Contador. Now, knee, of course, it sounds like a superficial injury, but we won't know really, and it's a silly thing to say, but the knee in cycling.
Well, that's what Stefano Felton from Tinkoff was saying, that apparently they are worried because last year at the Tour de France he got injured on his knee as well. I don't know if it's the same knee as last year in the Tour or what, but yeah, I mean, some stitches there is not the best place. I mean, on the shoulder it will definitely affect. It will definitely, but we know Alberto how great champion he is, how committed and he is for this race. So let's get through the day. I think Alberto just needs to get through the day, tomorrow, and start evaluating probably in 2-3 days. Because as you say, Ashley, I mean, they are perfect allies, so that means that they also recover very quick from injuries. Hopefully that's what's going to happen, and we're still having a good pink jersey and are ready for next weekend especially.
Yeah, absolutely. Best wishes, of course, to Alberto, not just for him, but because for the good of the Giro, which has been so good so far. Tomorrow, another not too difficult stage for the likes of Alberto. Let's see what tomorrow's stage profile looks like.
Well, we saw Stefano Feltrin, the last but one interviewee there, looking very, very worried. Will Alberto be there? That's the question. It's the longest stage of the Giro d'Italia. Monument length, 263 kilometers with a finale in Fiuggi that could become a little complicated. One climb of the day categorized for that blue jersey.
Welcome back. It's great to have you back. And just before we look at the next stage, we're very fortunate indeed to be joined by another one of the riders today. Tell us about today's stage. How did in English or in Italiano?
English.
In English, okay. Tell us about today's stage, how it went for you.
No, for me it was a nice day. I enjoyed the blue jersey. It wasn't stressful for me today because I stay in the peloton, and it was the day for the sprinter, so also not too hard, but yeah, you never know with the wind and everything. No, it was a nice day for me.
How long do you think that jersey can remain?
Yeah, we'll see. It will be tough to hold it because I think also the other riders are thinking of the blue jersey, but for sure if I want to keep it I will need to do another day in the breakaway or more.
Indeed you do. Congratulations today. Very good ride and good luck tomorrow as well. Okay, that's all we have time for on Giro Extra. Juan Antonio, sorry to cut you off again, but I'm afraid we need to go to more things live on Eurosport, of course, and we'll be back with you before the start of tomorrow's stage with Giro Extra. It's another great stage from Grosseto to Fiuggi with, as Juan Antonio said, an uphill sprint finish. So, see you soon and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining.